The body mass index, or BMI, is a number that commonly gets thrown around in health and wellness circles, and it's definitely important for cardiometabolic health. When somebody has an elevated BMI in the overweight or obese range, then that usually is associated with other underlying conditions that we need to do something about. But for today, I'm just going to focus on telling you what the BMI is, how to measure it, and the different classifications. The nice thing about it is it's easy to calculate. There's only two numbers that you require. That is your weight in kilograms and your height in meters. So the formula itself is your weight divided by your height in meters squared. Fortunately, you never have to do that calculation yourself because you can easily go online and find an online calculator and just plug your numbers in. Even if you have your height in feet and inches, or your weight in pounds, which most people still do, even in Canada where we use the metric system, then you can usually plug those numbers in as well, and it will give you an accurate BMI estimate. So it's very easy to do. The things that the BMI doesn't tell us is your body composition. So you can imagine that somebody who has a large amount of lean body mass, that is, they have a lot of muscle mass, which is denser than fat mass, may have what looks like an elevated BMI, but that might not be an unhealthy situation because we know that extra lean body mass is actually metabolically advantageous. So you have to take that into context as well, and there are other measures which I'll talk about, which we can look at. In terms of classification, the standard numbers that we use are BMI between 25 and 30 is considered overweight. Anything over 30 is obese, and there are actually different classes of obesity. So between 30 and 35 is class 1, 35 to 40 is class 2, and anything above 40 would be class 3 obesity. Those numbers are changed a little bit for people who have Asian ethnicity. So for them, we would actually classify people as overweight with a BMI above 23, and obese is somewhere in the 25 to 27 range. You might be wondering if it's actually possible to have a BMI that's too low, and in fact it is. So 18.5 is the lower end of the threshold, and we know that below that number there are associations with worse health outcomes as well. So people don't have adequate lean body mass, they don't have adequate fat stores often, and will have bone mineral density problems, cardiac problems, among other things. So that's a quick run through of the BMI and what it means. So it's easily done. If you know your height and weight, you can calculate it for yourself and get an idea of where you are. And then of course, make sure that you have a conversation about that with one of your healthcare providers if you're concerned.